Hello and welcome to Real Metal. I am your host, Mark. I'd like to introduce my panel. Joining me once again is JP. And the second time on the show, the boys from Musifix, Aaron and Colin. How you guys doing?
Doing quite well.
This time around, we watched the movie Heavy Trip. Now, I know I saw the screening here in Calgary with JP.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of the Calgary Underground Film Festival, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, this was your guys' first time seeing this film, right?
It was.
Yeah. Before we get things started, let's check out the trailer.
Ruoka olisi valmista. Tuutteko te syömään?
You boys look like a weird heavy metal band.
Yes, we are band.
Annan sille meidän demo. Päästään jätkät pelaa festareilla. Tää.
Lähtisikö joku päivä minun kanssa vaikka kahville?
No kyllä mulla aina kahvit maistuu.
Jätä se tyttö rauha!
Tuossa noin rehuostokset jostain muualta. Kato, mä oon saanut pehmitellä tätä muijaa jo niin pitkään, että sinä et tuu pilaamaan sitä.
Arvaa mitä?
No.
Turolla ja sen bändillä on keikka Norjassa.
Koko kylä on ihan sekaisin. Hattua kouluun.
I am sorry we have no room for you in this year's festival.
Ja heitä se pamppu takas.
Tämä on ihan päin helvettiä.
Ihan sama, minä ainakin lähden sinne Norjaan soittamaan. Vaikka onko sitä perkele arkussa?
Mitä? Jynkky, kuoliko se taas?
Mitä musaa te vajakit oikeastaan soitatte edes?
Sinfonista postapokalyptista reindeer grinding Christ abusing extreme sotapakana fennuskandi metal.
Se olisi taas ysissä kolemaisella paskat housussa. Taas.
So, what are you guys' initial thoughts? What did you think of the film right off the top?
I thought it was awesome. Like, I watched the trailer beforehand, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool," but it was even better than the trailer. And after watching Black Roses last time, I was unsure of the caliber of it.
See, I love Black Rose. I think it's a great B movie. I think this is a great heavy metal movie. What do you think, Colin?
I instantly skeptical because, like you said, it was a heavy metal movie, and that's just an uphill battle for me generally. But this movie went really smooth. It was great. It was charming. It reminded me a lot of like kind of that school of rock where it's just like you might not be into rock, you might not be into this brand of metal, but it really brought you in. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. It was a movie that could kind of appeal to a broad spectrum of people. Like, oh, I've heard about this crazy heavy metal stuff, and then they could get into the movie.
Yeah, good jokes beyond just having good blast beats.
It was pretty good acting and lots of good comedy. So
Yeah, I thought the movie was hilarious. I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite heavy metal movies. Like, when we were watching a lot of those ones from the 80s and stuff like that, heavy metal is a joke. This one, it's a joke, but it's definitely a metal in-joke.
A better joke.
Yeah, no, it's a joke that metalheads can laugh at. It's not like we're just making fun of them. It's obviously written and produced by people that know the genre well and love it.
And it doesn't play to the stereotypes.
No.
Of all headbangers are dumb,
Yeah.
or stoned, or all the time.
Well, they kind of are, but I mean, yeah, in a fun way.
Yeah, each character is really reminiscent of like somebody I actually probably know, you know, whether they look like them or the way they acted. Like one guy would look away but act like another guy I know. It's just like, oh yeah, we know these people, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, they're just fun people in general. Not all of them off the get-go, but each character it was good character development. You don't get that in a lot of that kind of stereotyped genre, if you get what I'm saying, you know. I wouldn't put it B. I think it was an A movie.
I thought it was great. I think it was distributed by Bloody Disgusting here in North America, which is weird for a horror movie site to be behind a movie like this. But I don't think a lot of people saw it.
Yeah, limited violence.
Yeah, not a lot. But I don't think a lot of people got to see it, especially in theater. Like, it was...
It's one day only.
Yeah, I think they played two screenings at the Calgary Underground Film Festival. That was it. We had to go see the Sunday screening, and not a lot of metalheads in the audience.
yeah, I hadn't heard about it until you guys said we were watching it, and then like it seems like it could be a lot more mainstream appeal with it because it is so accessible and fun, right?
Well, I think when we saw it, I was expecting, like, we're going to talk about another film in another episode that we just saw last week called The Lords of Chaos.
Yeah.
And we went to that screening last week, and it was nothing but metalheads in the audience, just long hair and leather jackets. And that's what I expected when I went to go see Heavy Trip in the theatre. But it was also put on by the Finnish Society here in Calgary, and I guess a lot of Finnish people came out to see it. It wasn't a lot of metalheads there, a few of us. But I think the movie would really appeal to people that like metal. Definitely, like you're gonna love this film.
Yeah,
and even if you don't like metal, it's still funny as hell.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Lords of Chaos. So that was a pretty big screening. I know a lot of people that went to that in the last bit there. And then before that, the Grindcore documentary that came out in Calgary. I forget the exact title of that one, but that was
Slave to the Grind.
Slave to the Grind. That had a pretty good turnout when I went and saw that.
Yeah, I mean we're lucky here in Calgary that we get a lot of these smaller independent films to actually screen in theaters here. And, because a lot of places didn't. Most people, I guess, didn't get an opportunity to see this film in the theater. Now that it's finally available on, you got it on DVD
and Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's it'd be nice if more people knew. But I think a thing that's going to hold a lot of people back though is the fact that it's not in English. There are some parts that are in English, and some people just have a problem with it.
It's true.
A lot of time I watch English films with subtitles anyways.
No, a lot of people
Scottish films that are technically English.
Yeah.
Like, what the? You're gonna need them. Still game.
But yeah, I think that holds a lot of people back. I know people personally that don't want to watch the read a foreign film, and
you gotta pay attention. You can't be on your phone the whole time, else you're gonna miss what's going on.
But I think this was worth it because even with it being produced in a different country, the jokes still land and they're funny.
Yeah, I totally get that because I try to sell people on various things, like whether you're watching an anime or even Norseman on Netflix right now. That was really reminiscent of this show, just like because it was really charming and it had kind of that awkward humor that people are really can cater to these days. Mm-hmm. So really approachable, I find.
And it had a bit of the romantic subplot as well, just a little bit. It wasn't overdone.
And it does fit the niche genres, whether you're reading or it's metal.
Yeah.
You can get past both of those, I found, quite quickly.
Yeah, I guess maybe we should synopsize the film a little bit so the audience knows what the hell we're talking about. Who wants to synopsize this one?
Boys?
Okay, here we go. There's this band that have been playing covers for 12 years. And then they decide to find their sound and write one song. This song is going to carry them to the top. So they give it to Norwegian music festival guy, and then they don't hear back. But basically, they become a big name in their small town. They're going to try to go play this festival, which keeps fucking them around. They go to play the festival, motherfuckers die. Handicapped people with silent fillers in and stuff. I don't want to spoil too much.
We're going to spoil it here. They end up playing the festival.
One song.
It's a movie. They only needed one song.
You only ever need one song as long as you're hauled off stage by police after that song in every show. You will cultivate beyond mystique.
So there's that scene where the first gig, the drummer lights himself on fire, and the guy pukes everything. That was an awesome first gig, man. We're like legendary. It went really well.
I'd definitely be talking about that band like the next day. I just saw his band last night. Dude projectile vomited like 6 feet, and then dude set himself on fire and ran through the audience. And then we're done.
They all got arrested. Yeah.
Good night. All right, well, thank you.
I love the scene where they're trying to write their own song first. And the guitar player's like, oh yeah, I've got some riffs. And he starts playing Walk from Pantera first.
Walk! Pantera 92.
No, entäs tää?
Children of Bodom. Every Time I Die, 2000, Laiho.
When we saw that in the theater, I burst out laughing as soon as he played like the first two notes. most of the audience was pretty silent.
Yeah, that's true.
Until
It's because they were Finnish and they don't care for Pantera.
Yeah.
Well, that's the musician's humor too. Just like you're playing somebody else's song, like let's hear a new riff, and then he plays another guy's song. And he plays another
bottom song.
It's Bono. He just keeps going, plays other bands. It's just like I've been there because I'm like that sounds pretty reminiscent of that. like some of my favorite bands, I do that with because I'm hard on things like that. So it's just
Well,
like
you want to do
yeah.
a one open chord breakdown? Come on.
Lovely.
Anyone who's been in a band has been through that, and they've had like their fucking bass player go like, "Well, that sounds like this fucking Swedish melodic death metal band."
Dick hole plays bass.
I don't know if I'm speaking to anyone off camera right now.
Fuck you.
No, I'm right here.
Well, yeah, let's talk about some of our favorite scenes, I guess. Like I said, that one is
Their inspiration. Their inspiration for how their sound to come to be.
That's a great scene.
That's a pivotal point in the writing. While these guys are writing their story, they had like key points throughout this, and that was a big one. Where's their going to sound come from? Because they were doing a lot of covers prior to that, right?
Yeah.
So their guitar player was working at. Reindeer is a common theme in this movie. I gotta say right off. In Finland, reindeer is cows. It's cattle for Alberta. So this guy's working at a reindeer slaughterhouse, and the reindeer ends up getting stuck in the grinder because Buddy's stereo keeps skipping over and going to some shitty music, and he can't handle it. Good plot device right there. And they get stuck, and he's going to fix it, and he's like, "That sounds kind of good. That sounds pretty sweet." And then he keeps listening. He gets his buddies on the phone, and he's like, "Gotta have a listen. There."
Tämä on ihan blast beatia. Ihan niinku satojen porojen sielut huutais tuskissaan matkalla porohelvettiin.
Tää jos saadaan biisiä, niin mummolta sun läpi naama.
I reflect a lot with that scene personally because I remember being at Loud as Hell a few years ago. I don't know, it was Farmageddon. And I was just having a good time. I was kind of intoxicated. And they had this generator going there. And it was pumping. I was just like... Brum, 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 brum. And I was like, fuck, what's going on stage? Check out this generator, man. And I was just headbanging this generator like an asshole. And then I see this scene of this guy's like, oh, this meat grinder. I'm like, oh, I love that. I've been there. Like, damn, that caters.
Archfire's drummer was saying he's like, influences or things stuck in a fan.
like a card, a playing card in the fan.
I love that scene because it was the classic play on that scene from Back to the Future movie. Michael J. Fox. So Michael J. Fox has gone back in time and he's playing this blazing Eddie Van Halen guitar solo at the school dance, and Marvin Gaye or Chuck Berry, whatever.
Marvin Berry
says,
Marvin
Chuck,
Berry.
I found the son you've been looking for, and he holds out the phone to Michael J. Fox playing guitar, so it was exact duplication of that scene. And it was so good, and there's so many of those 80s scenes in them, like from Home Alone and Risky Business and Back to the Future, and it was like, they like their old school 80s cheesy comedies, and they like weave those in.
So many things they touch on. The moviegoers too.
Yeah, that Risky Business scene where he comes out and he's headbanging with a mop in the insane asylum.
that was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
good one. Had great stage moves, and all the elderly were very impressed. Well, mostly one lady.
Yeah, go clean up the guy who shit his pants in room 5, and then I'll throw my panties at you.
That's so metal.
Yeah, there's so many good jokes in this film, and then it sort of turns into a road movie at the end when they're trying to get to the concert, and they dig up their drummer. It's carrying along on the top.
A lot of suspension of disbelief, right? Digging up their drummer, bringing him on the road. This guy's got this girl who supports him the whole way about his band, just like, your band's the best!
And all she's ever seen is him puke on people pretty much.
That sounds like it's coming.
But he's got really nice hair, so like I can't give her too much guff about it, really. Tall, got long hair. Go girl.
So what do we think about the music in it? Now, it was a lot of original music composed for this.
Impaled Rektum.
Yeah, so what do we think about... It wasn't a lot of songs.
They were brutal. Real metal.
I like those 2 songs they did. So they did the... Do we even get a name for the hit song there?
Flooding Secretions.
Flooding secretions. And then they wrote the one in the van while they were driving down the road.
Was that a new song, or were they just practicing the
Yeah, it was the same song.
Alright, you may have got me. I might have been a bit hopeful for them.
But there was all the filler music in between, which I couldn't quite place, but it all was pretty good. I mean,
and if not, they at least had like a whole plethora of covers.
Oh, and then anytime the singer got happy and romantic, it would turn to 80s music and be like, just like old school happy.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, it was clever how they did that.
Yeah, there was one thing that when I was watching this film the first time. There's guys in the town. He's riding through on his bike, and they start calling him a lot of homophobic slurs. They call him homo. They use the F word and stuff in there. And
like fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I kind of had a problem with that when I was watching it the first time, going like, okay, like I know that happened. It's happened to me plenty of times, especially when I was a kid. In a small town, I had long hair.
Well, times haven't changed that much. People still getting called the F word.
Yeah, but
just not me anymore. Because now I'm bald and big.
And now just because I sit at home all the time.
But I just didn't think that. I was like, all right, well, it's it's 2018. Why are the filmmakers even using this anymore? And that's what I thought the first time I had watched it. And then there's a scene that sort of makes up for all that, where he gets called out again, and he runs up to the guy and he kisses him on the mouth and he said something about real gay men.
It's a manly to be gay.
Yeah, he's like gay men are manly men. And then it was just straight up, and I really like that scene. But like, I don't think people should have to like not use the word, because it's a word that people used and it has a lot of weight. And I get people understanding not wanting to use it, but that weight is the reason that it needs to be heard, because people were called that or whatever, and that's the reference of real life situations, whatever word you were called.
I get what you're saying there, and I kind of thought that way, and I used it myself,
but I love
just with friends and stuff like that, as a joke. You're like, oh, that's so gay. And then I had dinner with a friend of mine who said to me, he was like, yes, but can you imagine being that kid when you hear that every time? That means something bad, and you're a gay kid. And that was when it really hit me.
That's why I started saying that's so black metal.
So like, yeah, that's when I was like, okay, now I get it, that maybe I shouldn't use that word anymore.
No, well, I get that. Like,
or use it to
amongst your
refer to
friends,
something
if you're trying to respect your friends. But just as in writing and in cinema with characters, if you're trying to have people being antagonistic as a character,
true, yeah,
that would be
especially in the Black 40 in Northern.
How are you going to censor the antagonist? Like, that's the way the antagonist goes.
You're trying to make you dislike the character.
But it seems a cheap way to get you to dislike a character. Is what
it's a very real way for people to reference that, and whether or not that guy has issues with that thing in general, or he's just using it as a cop-out insult, is here or there. But right away, those guys, as soon as they found out he became famous or whatever, they were kissing his ass. And then as soon as he wasn't famous anymore, so right away, those guys were not real people characters. They were just,
Yeah, I mean,
suspension of disbelief.
This real metal episode just got real.
We got the A in real metal.
So I guess we all seem to really like it. So
yeah, it's good. If you like fucking School of Rock, right? Yeah. It's very. Oh, it was charming like that movie. I can't. Like, I just keep thinking about School of Rock and then that movie. So I don't know why.
So yeah, I usually end the show off by saying, "Would you recommend it?" And I think we all would. But why would we recommend it? I suppose.
That's a tough one. I just the jokes were fun. The pacing was good. It was well produced. The soundtrack and for metal fans, there's so many in jokes, like tons of little things that happened back in the early 90s of the Norwegian black metal scene that they referenced, like just real subtle things. And if you know your metal history, it's like, oh, that like that scene where they're trying to name the band, talk about the band Eternal Tears of Sorrow, and it was this big in joke and no one gets it, right?
Yeah.
So it was, totally recommend it. It was a lot of fun, 100%.
Yes.
Yes.
Certified. Thumbs up from Colin. Recommended. Funny, good soundtrack, good balance of jokes, and pace, and even the bad guy was pretty funny. Yeah. And he didn't say the F word.
Yeah. The bad guy was quite a great character.
Yeah,
I would definitely recommend it. Not the reason I would recommend it, but something we didn't talk about is the bass player and his sad black metal makeup. That seems to be ever changing. Like at a funeral, he's like extra teardrop in it. When he's on stage, it's more jagged. And it's always kind of the same sad black metal makeup, but he does it in different ways in many
I
scenes.
really like that.
And he never seems to take it off, even when he's back at work at the library.
Yeah.
He still has it up.
Well, he became that entity, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he Bootsy Collins did. Bootsy did. You can't. He's like, I'm going to bed in these glasses. You know, I'm going to bed in this makeup.
Could have made reference to any black metal band. You picked Bootsy Collins.
I've been watching a lot of Tales of the Tour Bus. So you gotta be honest.
It's Bootsy, baby.
Bootsy time.
I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite heavy metal movies. I think these guys got it right. Whoever, I can't remember the director's name off the top of my head right now, but they nailed it. It's fun, it's funny, it's very metal, and I think a lot of people could enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say like I might look up the director and see what else he's done. Like it was good enough that I'd want to check out more films by him. So.
Yeah, I'd say definitely seek it out. Right now, it's available on Blu-ray and DVD. Not streaming anywhere, as far as I know. It's not on Netflix or Amazon Prime yet, but hopefully it shows up there so people can actually get to see this movie. Okay, let's end things off with some plugs. JP.
Oh, check out metalrules.com. That's about all I have to say about that one. Hey, you can read my full review of the movie on metalrules.com if you want. Yeah. But check out this one first.
Boys, what's Moose Effects got happening?
We actually have some stuff happening.
Well, let's hear about it.
Yeah, we've been recording a new album at Castle Kill Studios with yours truly. So hopefully we'll be releasing a few singles from that soon. We are unorganized and lazy, so we don't have any artwork or things together such for physical releases, but there will be new tracks coming. Got a few shows coming up in Calgary at the Blind Beggar and the Brass Monkey. If you're in Calgary, you probably will hear about them somewhere. Come check them out, they should be fun. We're playing with the Mighty Truck on the 22nd or 3rd of February.
Where can they find out about those? If they are in Calgary.
Type Moosifix into your search engine, Moosifix, which is commonly spelled wrong by everyone. Yeah, I mean, go give us a like, and we'll give you all the updates on anything happening with us.
Alright, awesome.
We're also on Twitter and other things, but we don't go on there, so it'd be a waste of time for you to care about that.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and share button. We'd really appreciate it. Let your friends know about the show. We could definitely use some more subscribers. And until next time, guys.
Like and share.